An honor to offer this brief Dvar Torah on Parshas Behar-Bechukosai as we finish reading Sefer Vayikra, a whole Sefer of the Chumash that we're reading at home and not in shul, something previously unthinkable. Hashem Yirachem, we should have a refuah shlema and a shmira from the future and return back to normal very soon. Sefer Vayikra ends on a surprising note. After all the talk about the Korbanos and about the Mishkan and about the Shechina and how do we keep the Shechina through maintaining our Kedusha, it ends with Parshas Bechukosai, with the brachos and the klalos, about Chalila, what happens if we don't maintain the Kedusha. But even the klalos end on a positive note. V'zacharti l'hem b'ritz rishonim, eila hachukim v'amishpatim v'atoros. You think that would be the end of Sefer Vayikra. And yet, there's another parsha, another Perik Chav Zayin, which talks about arachin. If we want to donate money to the Beis HaMikdash, donate the value of ourselves, of our house, of our field, how do we calculate that? Take into account the Yovel. What's it doing there? Why doesn't Sefer Vayikra end with the klalos? So Ramban gives a very important answer. It's kedai to look there. I'd like to focus on one of the answers given by the Midrash Tanchuma. So the Midrash tells the story that when HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create Adam, create humanity, the Malachim says, why are you creating man? What do you need them for? We'll do the avoda. We'll serve you, Hashem. You don't need people. And so Hashem asked them, what do you mean? Who's going to bring me the karbanos? Who's going to be? Is it going to be you? No. That's why it says at the very beginning, V'nasnu bnei Aaron hakohen eish al mizbeach v'archu eitzim al eish. The Kohanim, the humans, people, are going to put the wood on the Mizbeach. And who's going to bring the lechem upon him? You, Malachim? No. It's going to be people. It says, B'yom HaShabbos, Yarchenu Lifnei Hashem Tamid. Every Shabbos. And who's going to bring Arachin? Is it going to be you? The Malachim? No. It's going to be Adam. Ish. Ki yafli neder be'erkecha nefashos. Ish. People. So what's the answer? This question is a theme throughout Midrash. Why did Hashem create... Malachim asking why Hashem, why is he creating man? But what's the answer here? What's the answer that Hashem gives to the Malachim in this Midrash? So we know there's a general klal in all of life that there are people in the front stage and people on the back stage. You have the actors who everybody sees, they get the glory, but they cannot function without the writers, the producers, the directors, the lighting, the camera, v'chule v'chule. And the same lahavdil in shul. You have the rabbi, the president gives the announcements, you have the gabbai, the bakori, but you have so many other people involved who make the shul function, whether it's the Kiddush committee, the chesed committee, the guy who puts out the tissues, or you have the custodian. There's so many other people who are supporting functions that without them, the shul wouldn't function. The shul wouldn't work. You can't have the front stage without the back stage, right? We know that. That's not a surprise, not a shock. But there's more to that. This midrash focuses on another element that without them, the tzibur could not function. The front stage couldn't function without that. And that is the key that malachim don't have, but we do have. And I think this comes from comes to focus from a Gemara in Yoma that's often misunderstood about the payas, about the lotteries in the Mishkan, in the Beis HaMikdash. It's generally assumed or misunderstood that there was no payas, there were no lotteries to determine which Kohen would do which avoda in the Mishkan, and then there was a race. People were over enthusiastic. There was a race to the top of the kevis, to the ramp, and one fell off or pushed off or whatever happened. There was a bad mice, so someone got injured, and they instituted the payas. That's not true. The Daf Chav Beis in Yom, at the beginning of the second parak, they say as follows. No, originally, for time immemorial, there was a pious multiple lotteries in the Mishkan and the Beis HaMikdash to determine which avoda, which Kohen did which avoda, but there was one avoda that didn't have a pious, and that was the Trumas Hadesh, and the earliest avoda that's done can even be done at night so early. It has to be done so early. The Gemara says they were worried about Ona Shena. They didn't have alarm clocks. And who wants to wake up so early? Who wants to get to the Mishkan, to the Beis HaMikdash so early just to clean out the garbage? So they figured nobody would show up. Whoever comes, they'll be able to choose on their own because there's so few will come. And they were surprised. Chazal, whoever instituted this, were surprised of the enthusiasm. There were so many people. There was mamash a race to the top. And they were so enthusiastic, they got misplaced enthusiasm. Someone got injured. And then they instituted the pious. And that's the Trumas, and the pious went to the person who did the Trumas Hadesh and the Marachas Ha'etzim, who cleaned off the ashes from the Mizbeach and put on the new wood for the day. That was the first pious. And they were surprised because it's so early in the morning. Who was going to come at that time? Everybody. Everybody came. So many people came. It was an incredible enthusiasm. And the same thing with the Lechem Aponim. Uviyom HaShabbos, Uviyom HaShabbos. Every single Shabbos, fresh Lechem Aponim, fresh bread. Incredible, incredible. Why can't you just use the bread from last week? Every single Shabbos it was done with enthusiasm, with happiness. And arachin is voluntary. Yeah, you have to give you half shekel to the Mishkan. That should be enough, right? No, people wanted to donate their house, their field, themselves. They wanted to donate themselves to the Beis HaMikdash, to the Mishkan, to the Avodah. That's how enthusiastic, how much they loved it, how much they wanted to be part of it. And that enthusiasm, Malachim don't have. Yeah, they could do what they're told, and they'll do it very well. They're like robots. They'll do what they're told. But we will do it, we will choose to do it, and we will choose to do it with enthusiasm, with love, with desire, and that is something Malachim can't do. That's the kunst of humanity, is that we want to do Avodas Hashem. And that's something that we've seen throughout this Machala. Sometimes misplaced, unfortunately. But this desire is surprising, and maybe I shouldn't be surprised. The desire by so many people to return to Shul, to be a part of Shul, to be a part of the Tzibur, is overwhelming. I'm sure you all feel that. You all see it. You all, it's unfortunately meforsim in the newspapers how much we desire to go back to our shuls and our tzibur. And in Yirtzeh Hashem, this enthusiasm, one of the lessons that we can learn, and one of the lessons we have to learn, is figure out how to tap into that, so it continues even after we return back to normal, that we maintain this enthusiasm throughout a Klal Yisrael. So in Yirtzeh Hashem, as this Machala winds down, and we return back to normal, Be'ezus Hashem soon, and the Beis HaMikdash is rebuilt, Be'ezus Hashem soon, we continue this level of enthusiasm, of racing to the top of the keves, and strongly desire to be part of a tzibur, to go to shul and be part of this avoda. We'll continue that with enthusiasm, with islavus, and with zrizus going forward.